And welcome back to another edition of 705 Sports Soo Greyhounds pregame edition. Tonight we have a very interesting battle as the Soo Greyhounds are getting ready to take on the Kitchener Rangers. Earlier in the week, I posted an article about are the Soo Greyhounds the real deal? They've came out to a flying start this season, and it has made people question, are the Greyhounds as good as their start, or have they just not battled another top tier level team? Well, tonight the Kitchener Rangers are tied with them for second in the West, so this is definitely going to be a top tier level team they are playing. So to really see if these two teams are competitive and how they're going to stack up, we first need to break down their rosters a little bit. So let's start with the Kitchener Rangers. The Kitchener Rangers are built with 3 to 4 lines that can score. When you look at their top 4 players, 3 of them are on different lines. One of their top goal scorers is even a defenseman, something that the Hounds have been lacking in this season. The Rangers, not the Greyhounds, talk about them in a bit. The Rangers are the type of team that likes to roll all their lines and really apply the pressure. They do this with those lines, and for the Hounds, this could be a bit of a struggle. To now look at the Soo Greyhounds roster, they're a team that they really use one line to dominate, and that is their top line. Their top line has been outstanding this year, and realistically has been the big reason why the Hounds have been able to win as many games as they have. The bottom 9 for the Hounds have been a little bit of a struggle, so I'd like to see a bit more from Marco Mascoiu, who I think could and can be that secondary scoring the team needs. He has 4 goals in 7 games this year, and he could be a key player to watch tonight as the Rangers are really going to be honing in on that top line from the Hounds. I also feel Tanner Dickinson's another player who we're going to talk about him a bit more in a bit. It's been a huge part of the team's power play, but could also add some secondary scoring from 5-on-5 or 4-on-4, or just even strength play. So now we could see there that I don't really know who could say have the advantage. Some people argue the Rangers have the advantage because they're more balanced, and some people argue that the Greyhounds have the advantage because that top line has been dominating. Really just depends how the defensive structures work. And speaking of that, let's get a bit into the special teams. The power plays for both of these teams have been excellent. The Soo Greyhounds power play is sitting top in the OHL at just over 32%. They have been a dominating force and a big reason why, again, they've been able to win some of these games and even claw back from come from behind. Now, the Rangers power play is nothing to sneeze at either, or nothing to dab at, because they are a very strong power play as well, sitting 10th in the OHL, clicking at around 20%. So you might say the power plays would almost cancel each other out with the Hounds having an advantage, but not maybe as big of an advantage there as the percentages may look. Where unfortunately I think the Rangers start to have a bit of an advantage is the penalty kill. The Kitchener Rangers have a strong penalty kill this year. They've been doing a good job at stopping those penalties. They're sitting 7th in the league, killing off 81.5% of the other team's power plays. The Greyhounds have been a very different story. So we've talked about the Soo Greyhounds and their penalty troubles and all of that way back in the preseason. They're taking less penalty now. There we go. Now I'll speak some English, which is great. But they're still not killing them off as efficiently as I'd like to see. They're sitting dead last in the Ontario Hockey League for killing off penalties at only 64%. That's something that really needs to improve. So I think the Hounds need to either take even less penalties, or the penalty kill really needs to figure out a way to work. We talked about this in Are the Greyhounds the Real Deal, about how they need to find that balance between being aggressive and chasing the puck to just sitting back and covering the shooting lanes and the passing lanes. But last, but certainly not least, let's talk about both these teams' goaltending. When you actually look at the team stats, I think both teams would like to have some better goaltending this year, with the Rangers having a slight advantage, but still nothing crazy. So the Rangers goaltenders are averaging out under a 90 save percentage and almost a 3 goals against average, which again is something that they want to see improve. The Hounds are in a similar situation with their netminders making about 87% of the saves and allowing about just over 3 goals a game. Now, the thing is, with the Greyhounds, it really depends on which netminders we see. And when I say that, I don't even mean the physical guy in the net. I mean how he's playing. Let's look at Samuel Ivanov as a prime example. There's been some games where he's looked outstanding, making some really big key saves. And there's been some games he's looked a little shaky. So I think for Ivanov, he's going to need to play a strong game because I don't think the Greyhounds are going to be able to limit the Rangers' shots the way they have been with maybe Sudbury or North Bay on some nights. Now, mind you, North Bay is also one of the stronger teams in the East, which has always been my argument, and people said the Hounds haven't faced any real competition, but that conversation is for another day. So the main question for tonight's game, do you feel the Hounds have a legitimate chance of winning this game? And I say they do. I think if the Hounds can stick around to these 3 to 4 key areas, which would be stay out of the penalty box, get lots of shots on net, play your style of game, so make sure that you can get out on the power play, and make sure your top line is rolling, and if it's not, get that bottom 9 scoring to maybe elevate the team. I really do feel they have a legitimate shot. Well, we'll find out tonight. Puck drops at 7:07 at GFL Memorial Gardens. I will be at the arena, so I won't be stressed. I'll be in my vest. Feel free to come say hi. But thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the article of this as well. And we'll see you at the next one. And remember, 705 Sports is every Fridays at noon, where we have Greyhounds talk, national sports, international sports, and everything that's going on in the sports world. See you next time.